Hi everybody and welcome back to the channel. So today I'm on a Suzuki V-Strom 800 RE, not to be confused with its brother, which is the DE, which is more the dual sport adventure bike. This is the RE, this is the road explorer, the road biased bike, and we're going to take it for a little ride and give you guys the review. So sit back, relax and come along for the ride. So the first thing I can tell you, it is absolutely freezing today. We've only got 7 degrees, we've got a real cold wind coming in. So it'll be interesting to see how this bike performs in these conditions in the winter months. Because I do think this bike would make a really good all-rounder. Also gives us a chance to see how these Dunlop tyres hold up. And one thing I like about the bike is the price as well. Suzuki's bought this in on the road, £9,699. I think anything sub 10 grand in this day and age has got to be a good price. One of the reasons for that, it's not laden full of electronics, so it's got a quick shifter which can go up and down. It's got traction control, it's got your ABS settings, and it's also got 3 power modes, A, B and C, which I believe is kind of, one's like a sports mode, one's a road mode, and one is more like a rain mode. This bike's carrying the 776cc parallel twin engine, which has got that 270 degree crank. It's beautifully smooth and it's got plenty of mid-range pull. Output power on this bike is 83.1 brake horsepower, and it's also producing 78 newton meters of torque, which I can honestly say is more than enough for these roads. What I'll do, I'll just get on the gas a little bit and show you what the quick shifter's like. Yeah, that's really smooth on the up. Just as we on the downs as well, kind of works well. Ergonomically, the bike is really nice. You do sit into it, the seat's very comfortable. The bars are kind of coming towards you a bit, that keeps you in an upright position. So I think you could sit on this bike for many hours and feel absolutely fine. I'm liking the colour 5-inch TFT screen as well. The clarity on it is absolutely beautiful. We've got the traction control settings there, which I believe there's 3. Like I said, those 3 rider modes and the 2 ABS settings all can be turned on and off on the fly. Switch gears, dead basic as well. You've literally got this mode button on the left, and if you press that, it highlights the traction control. Press it again, it goes into the mode. If you drop off the throttle, you can go up and down on this left button there. That'll then select a different kind of power mode. I'll just show you by putting it in mode C, which is, like I said, probably the equivalent to the rain mode. And we'll drop down a couple of gears, get on the gas. I mean, it's still got plenty of pull, but there is a noticeable difference between each of the modes. It's got this quite a wide screen, which offers a fair bit of wind protection actually. You do get a little bit from the top because it's not that tall, but and there is some adjustment on it. You just can't adjust it on the fly. You're going to need like an Allen key to kind of move it up. I think that's just in the middle setting there. Even with a switch gear, I think it'd be great like on these colder months when you've got some thicker gloves on. Everything's nice and easy to press as well. Whereas I've noticed on some bikes, when you have quite a lot of buttons and big thick winter gloves on, you can end up pressing a couple of buttons at the same time. With this, you don't do that. On our right hand controller there, we've got our hazard button, and we've also got that one push quick start. I've also got Amy B on the back. She's going to give you that Pillion perspective today. So as regards to the suspension, I think it works really nice on the bike. We've only got preload adjustment on the front forks, and on the rear we've got an adjustable remote rear shock, which I've cranked up a couple of turns again because we've got Amy on the back, and actually that's settled the bike down really nice. We've got a 19-inch front wheel as well, so it turns really nice. unlike kind of like the DE version, has a 21-inch front wheel. This one really does handle the roads well, and with 2s up on this bike, I don't feel like we need any more power. Any of these gears, it picks up really nice. Even if I pop it into 6th gear at 40 mile an hour, let's get on that throttle. There's 5th there, there's 6th there, and like I said, as soon as that kind of builds up into that 4,000–5,000 RPM, that bike really starts to pull. We've also got a massive 20-litre tank that does about 280 miles until empty, which is like phenomenal really. So what we'll do, we'll just give it a little bit of a brake test. Oh yeah, this bike is nice. It's got some stopping power, and there's not too much dive on those front forks as well. Let's give it one more test. Yeah, yeah, the brakes work well. I mean, they're not Brembos, but you don't need them. This bike kind of weighs 223 kilos wet. It doesn't feel like that at all. It feels a lot lighter when you're moving it around at lower speeds. So we just pulled over so we can take a closer look at this bike. If you're wondering what colour this bike is, Suzuki do it in 3 different colours. This is the metallic steel green, and they also do their traditional Suzuki blue colour, and they've also got a black version. So like I said, engine wise, this bike's got the 776cc parallel twin engine. It's got a 270-degree crank, so it sounds kind of nice when you get on that throttle. There's plenty of pull there, and the engine feels really smooth as well. It's producing 83.1 brake horsepower, 8,500 RPM, and also 78 Newton meters of torque at 6,800 RPM. So suspension wise, on the front we've got the 41mm shower forks. It's got adjustable for preload only. And on the rear we've got a monoshock with a remote preload and rebound adjustment. Travel wise, we've got 150mm on the front, and we've also got 150mm on the rear. And with the brakes on the front, we've got those twin 310mm discs with the 4-piston Nissan calipers. And on the rear, we've got a 260mm single disc with a 1-piston caliper. Tyre sizes on these bikes, on the front we've got a 110 B80 B19, and on the rear we've got a 150 B70 B17. It's running the Dunlop D14Ss, which are perfect for the road. What we've got here is a 20-litre tank, which is perfect, like I said, for that range, over 280 miles until empty. Doesn't feel intrusive though, doesn't feel like a big tank. Seat height wise, this bike's coming at 825mm, and you do really sit into it. As you can see with that curvature, you sit nicely into the bike. I've got to say, the time I've been on this bike, it has been absolutely perfect. I do think I could just go for hours on end and not feel uncomfortable. That is one comfy seat. Weight wise, 223 kilos. Sounds a lot, but actually this bike feels a lot lighter than what it actually is. When I've been turning it around in the lanes and stuff, it doesn't feel heavy at all. I don't know if that's because the seat height is a little bit lower than that DE version, but yeah, handling wise, turning wise, that weight just disappears straight away. We've got LED lighting all round. Price wise, £9,699. I think anything these days sub 10 grand is absolutely brilliant, and I think Suzuki's done that because it's not laden with all those electronics that do bump these prices up. It's still £200 cheaper than the Honda XL750 Transalp, and it's also £800 cheaper than the BMW F800 GS. The service intervals on this bike are every 7,500 miles and 15,000 for the valve check. So overall, this 800 RE V-Strom is an absolute brilliant all-rounder, and I definitely think you should go give one a try. We still need to get that Pillion perspective from Amy B, which we're going to do right now. So apart from being really cold today, because it is an absolute freezing day, how's it been on the back for you today?
Yes, really comfortable. The seat, 10 out of 10 for comfortable. It's got nice big grab handles to hold on to. Just cold, and a heated seat would be nice.
Yeah, there's no luxuries with this bike like that, but yeah, all in all, like I said, I think both of us have agreed that that seat is really comfortable. The other thing we like to do, let's just have a little listen to that exhaust note.
So yeah, just looking at these tyres, you can see how the mud is just kind of got into the tread, but I did come across this kind of bit of a grass verge here, and the bike did start to slip a little bit. So yeah, I think if you're kind of into more of the dirt riding, then maybe think about going for that V-Strom DE, which is more dual purpose, whereas this one is more road focused. But like I said, on these lanes and stuff like that, even on the open roads, these Dunlop tyres have really held their own today.
So guys, I hope you've enjoyed today's video on the Suzuki V-Strom 800 RE. And don't forget, if you ain't subscribed to the channel, please do so, give us a like, and I'll see you in the next one.